Hi everyone, so today is Thursday the 7th of May and today I am going to show you how to insert a table into your document. So the first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to save this file with the name timetable1. That's what you're asked to do on the worksheet. So I'll just do that first of all. So I'll go to File, Save As. I'm going to save this to the documents area of my computer and I'll call it timetable 1. Okay, so as you can see, my document is now called timetable 1. Next, I'm going to change the layout of my page. So at the moment, my page is in portrait, and for this timetable, I want the page in landscape mode. So to change that, you go to the Layout tab, click on the Layout tab, come to Orientation, click there on Orientation. You can see at the moment Portrait is selected. I'm going to change that to Landscape. Okay, I'm going to go back to our Home tab and I'm going to show you how to insert a table. So to do that, you come up here to Insert tab, click there, and here we're going to click on the table group. So we click here. Now there are two ways to do this. You use whichever way you prefer. I will show you both ways and then it's up to you how you add your table. So you can do it here from the grid. And as you can see, the numbers change based on what I select here in orange. So if you're going to use the grid, you can work from here. So you are asked to produce a table of 6 columns and 8 rows. Like so. And also if you want to do it from the table group and come down to Insert Table, you can click here and then you can select your number of columns and your number of rows in here. So 6 columns and 8 rows and click OK. And as you can see, both tables are completely identical. So you work with whichever way you're happier to do it. So I am going to delete this table. I just don't want it to be a distraction. So the first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to just highlight the cells and I'm going to select the font in here, Verdana, and the font size 14. Okay, the next thing that I am going to do, I want to create a heading for the table in this top row here, but I want to center that text and I want to remove these grid lines here. So I want to take away these grid lines for the top row only, because in here is where I want to place my heading. So there are two ways to do that. The first way you can do that is you can highlight that entire row. If you right click on that row, you can come down here to where it says Merge Cells. And if you click there on Merge Cells, you'll now see that those grid lines have disappeared in this top row. So I'm just going to click Undo and I'll show you another way to do that. So when you click in your table, so when your cursor is in one of the cells in your table, as mine is here, you'll see that you get the options here for table design and table layout. So I'll click on table design and show you there. So this allows you to do various things with your borders. And if we go to layout, you should see in here that we can merge cells from in here also. Now this is grayed out at the moment because I have no cells selected to change. So if I select the top row again and I come up here, now you'll see merge cells is available. If I click merge cells, the same thing happens. So again, it's just to show you that those options are available to you. You go with whichever one you find is easiest for you to use. I also want to show you here, so previously when I changed the font and the font size here in my table, I clicked and dragged to highlight all those cells to change the font to Verdana and the size to 14. Another way to do that is to come up here and click here on this icon. And again, this will select all of the cells in your table for you. Okay, I'm just going to show you also, so if I type the days in here, so at the moment I am using my arrow keys to move down the cells in the table. So I'm arrowing down with the arrow keys on my keyboard. I'm not taking my hands from the keyboard to go to the mouse to move within the table. For these, I'm using the up down arrow keys. Oops. Okay, so the easiest, fastest way for you to navigate your way through the table is to use your tab key. So if I'm up here in Monday and I want to type something in the next column over, just use your tab key to navigate all your way through the table. So let's say, for example, I type in here swimming. Okay, and I've misspelled swimming. So I need to take that second G off the end of swimming. So to come back or to move my cursor back a cell, you simply hold down the Shift key and Tab, and that will take you into the previous cell. So I'll just tab across and I'll show you that again. So I now want to move back by one cell because I want to correct that spelling mistake. So you hold the Shift key down on your keyboard and hit the Tab key, and that will move you back by one cell. Now, if I just hit the right arrow in this cell, it takes me to the end of the word that I have typed. If I started typing with the word highlighted when I moved back into the cell, it will delete the text that's already in there. So I'll show you what I mean by that. So if I hold down my Shift key and Tab, if I start to type again in here, you'll see it deletes the text that I had previously typed within that cell. So I don't want for that to happen. So what I need to do is I need to hold my Shift key and Tab back. And if I just tab with the right arrow, it means that my cursor will come to the end of the text within that cell. So I'm just going to use my backspace key on my keyboard to remove that G that I don't want, and then tab through to the next cell to type my new text again. Okay, another thing I want to show you, because you'll be asked to do this in the worksheets in one of your amended tables. So you might be asked to add rows above, add rows below, or add a new column to the left or to the right. Okay, so you can do that in two different ways. So if I click on this cell here, if I click here in where Tuesday is, okay, and I come to the side here, you see this little plus icon appears at the top and at the bottom. So if I wanted to place a new row in between Monday and Tuesday, I can just simply hover my cursor here at the top of that cell and click that plus. And as you can see, I now have a new row rather, between Monday and Tuesday. If I wanted to select one below this cell, say with Wednesday, so I come here and see this little icon, I can press plus, and I have a new cell now below Wednesday. Another way you can do that is to click inside the cell. You can right click on your mouse or your mouse pad. You can come to insert and you can say a row below. Okay. To insert a column to the left or to the right, if you right click inside the cell, come to insert and select a column to the left or a column to the right. So I will select to insert a new column to the left. So as you can see, we now have a new column. Another thing that I'm going to ask you to do on the worksheets, or that you're asked to do on the worksheets, is to highlight a cell of your choice and select to color fill that row. So to do that, I come down here to my little paint can where it says shading, select the drop down, and for this case, I will select yellow. Okay, so that's how you do that. So if you want to add color to a cell, highlight the cell, click on your shading paint can. For this one, I'll pick red. So you can do an individual cell or you can do an entire row. The worksheet asks you to highlight an entire row. So I hope that that's clear. I think that that covers all of the areas that you'll be asked to format in the worksheet. If anyone has any questions, please just email me or give me a phone call and I'll do my best to help. I hope the video is helpful for you. I hope it's clear and explains everything accurately for you to follow the worksheet steps. But just let me know, give me a call, as I said, or an email, and I'll help if you're stuck on any aspects of the worksheet. Okay, so I hope the video is helpful and good luck with the worksheet.